Morgan Housel is one of the most influential financial voices of our generation. He's a former columnist at the Wall Street Journal and the Motley Fool, and currently a partner at the Collaborative Fund. But what made him a household name was his book, The Psychology of Money, which has sold over 10 million copies worldwide. Why did it become such a phenomenon? Because Morgan doesn't teach you complicated formulas or Wall Street jargon. He teaches you something much more valuable: how human behavior determines financial success. His core belief: your financial success depends more on your behavior than your intelligence. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to apply Morgan Housel's timeless narratives to your 2026 financial roadmap. Not predictions, not market timing, but behavioral principles that never change. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute personalized investment advice. Let's begin. Narrative number 1. The power of long-term compounding. Morgan Housel's favorite example is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion today. But here's what shocks people. 99% of that fortune came after age 60. Morgan emphasizes, when he was 60, he was a billionaire, absurdly successful by any metric, but he became worth over $100 billion from age 60 to 94 today. This is the power of compounding. How compound interest works, using 10% merely as an example. Year 1, you have $100, earn 10%, now you have $110, profit of $10. Year 2, you have $110, earn 10%, now you have $121, profit of $11. Year 3, you have $121, earn 10%, now you have $133, profit of $12. Your profit grows every year because you're earning profit on the profit. In 30 to 40 years, the numbers become absurd. Morgan made his first investment in 2003. He says, "I've been an investor for 20 years. During that period, there has never been a single day in which you could not have pointed to 100 things going wrong in the world and wrong in the stock market. Stocks are overvalued. The Fed is screwing up. Congress is a mess. Companies are going out of business every day. And during that period, the stock market's up fourfold." Morgan adds, "All compound interest is you're growing your money over time, and it grows at an increasingly higher level." Your 2026 roadmap action. Focus on consistency above everything else. Instead of trying to time the market or chase the next big quick win, establish automatic and consistent contributions to your long-term investments. Index funds, retirement accounts, diversified portfolios. Time in the market is more valuable than timing the market. Morgan's parents are the perfect example. Smart people, but zero financial experience. No Wall Street connections, no insider information. What did they do? Invested consistently for 40 years. Every month put money in, never sold anything. Result: they're in the top 1% of investors. Morgan's formula: if you can be an average investor for an above-average period of time, you can achieve absolutely incredible returns. You don't need to be brilliant, you need to be patient. Narrative number 2. Rich is what you see. Wealth is what you don't see. This is one of Morgan's most powerful concepts. Being rich means you have money to buy the things you want. The nice car, the big house, the designer clothes. Being wealthy means you have money you don't spend. Money that gives you options, flexibility, freedom. Morgan explains it this way: true wealth is the money that's invisible. It's sitting in your savings account, in your investments. It's the debt you didn't take on. Rich people show you what they have. Wealthy people don't need to show you anything. Your 2026 roadmap action. Resist the temptation of social comparison. Resist FOMO, fear of missing out. Define what enough means for you personally, not for your neighbor, not for Instagram, for you, and avoid spending to impress others. Morgan mentions a study. If your neighbor wins the lottery, your probability of going bankrupt increases. Why? You're looking at your neighbor who won the lottery, and your neighbor's probably bought a vacation house, bought a new car, sending their kids to private school. And you watching that are like, I need that for myself. It's unfair that they have it and I don't, and I'm going to go do any reckless financial decision to get that. Focus on increasing your invisible wealth, savings, investments, debt reduction, not visible goods like expensive cars and gadgets. Morgan says, the most dangerous trait in money is FOMO, fear of missing out. If you watch someone getting rich fast, there's a very good chance that it's not sustainable. Your friend who made 10,000% in Bitcoin, you're not going to be able to repeat that. We're at the point where most people quit watching. If you're still here, you're serious about your financial future. That puts you ahead of 90% of people. Hit subscribe and like to prove you're committed to change. Let's keep going. Narrative number 3. The importance of room for error, margin of safety. Morgan is obsessed with this concept. Financial planning must assume that things will go wrong. Unexpected events, economic crises, health problems, personal setbacks, they're inevitable. And your plan must be resilient enough to withstand them. Morgan asks, what are the odds that at least one of these things will happen to you at some point in your life? Job loss, divorce, illness, needing to support children, experiencing a giant recession. What's the probability of at least one of these happening to you? The answer is 100%. Everyone will face at least one major financial shock in their lifetime. The question is, will you be prepared? Your 2026 roadmap action. Prioritize building a robust emergency fund, covering 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Morgan says this isn't a low level of financial independence. This is medium to high level. Most people don't have this. He explains, when you lose that job, the ability to go find a good job, even a better job where you want doing what you want with the people who you like working with, is very important. If you don't have any savings, you're going to have to by default pick the very first job that you can come across, even if it's a terrible job in a location that you hate. Keep manageable debt levels. Avoid excessive leverage. This financial flexibility will help you sleep better at night and avoid impulsive financial decisions during stressful periods. Morgan also explains debt versus savings this way. Every dollar of debt that you have is a piece of your future that somebody else owns. It's a piece of your time that you owe to the bank. And the opposite of that is every dollar of savings that you have is a piece of your future that you own, that you have control over. Morgan reveals where all his wealth is. Number 1, a house. Number 2, cash, liquid money. Number 3, Vanguard index funds, specifically the total stock market index, VTSAX. Number 4, Markel shares, the company where he's a board member, that's it. No crypto, no 15 different stocks, no day trading. Distribution, approximately 50% or more in the stock market in index funds, the rest in cash and bonds. Why so much cash? Morgan says, my financial goal is maximizing how well I sleep at night. I have no desire for my tombstone to say he outperformed the S&P 500. He explains, I save my money like a pessimist and invest my money like an optimist. I prepare for the worst, but believe in long-term growth. Room for error, margin of safety. This is what separates those who survive crises from those who go bankrupt. Narrative number 4. Reasonable expectations beat perfect rationality. This is controversial but brilliant. Morgan says, the best financial plan is one you can follow, even if it's not mathematically 100% optimized. Let me repeat that. The best financial plan is the one you can actually stick to, not the perfect plan on paper that you abandon after 3 months. Morgan explains, everyone is a little bit flawed, a little bit emotional, has different family situations, different goals. As long as your financial decisions are merely reasonable, that's good. He continues, a lot of people think every one of your financial decisions has to add up perfectly in a spreadsheet. You want to use money as a tool for a better life, and there's many different ways to do that. Your 2026 roadmap action. Be reasonable, not rigidly rational. If a highly aggressive investment plan makes you so anxious that you'll abandon it at the first market volatility, it's not the right plan for you. Choose investments and strategies that align with your personality and risk tolerance. This ensures you can maintain discipline long-term. Morgan mentions a professional investor who, in any given year, was never in the top half measured against his peers, but over 30 years, he was the best. Why? Because he stuck to his plan. Boring, consistent, reasonable. Index funds are the perfect example of this. Index funds are boring, basic, cheap. You own all the stocks in the market. The total beginner buys index funds. The smart person tries day trading, crypto, picking individual stocks. The Wall Street veteran goes back to index funds. Be the beginner or the veteran, don't be the middle one. The 3 things that keep you poor. Morgan identifies 3 main factors that prevent people from getting rich. Number 1, lack of luck. Being born in the wrong place at the wrong time. You can control very little of this. Number 2, short-termism, thinking short-term. Most people quit too early. Number 3, low tolerance for pain. You don't endure long enough to see the results. Morgan calls this tolerance for pain. He says, what you're really getting paid for in any business endeavor, in any investing endeavor, is to put up with uncertainty and pain. Most people realize they're going to cry uncle sooner than they thought. Mr. Beast tells aspiring YouTubers, make 100 videos, then come back to talk to me. 99% of people quit before the 100 videos. The person who makes 200 videos doesn't need to come back for advice. Morgan himself, 17 years writing, 3,500 blog posts. He admits 3,000 of them were bad. Only then did he write his first book. Getting rich isn't about being brilliant. It's about enduring longer than others. Navy SEALs have this. Morgan mentions, when Obama met the Navy SEALs who killed bin Laden, he was stunned at how ordinary they looked. Half of them could have been high school principals, but their tolerance for pain was off the charts. Finance is the same thing. Your complete 2026 action plan. Let me give you the concrete steps. Rule number 1, the 10%. Save 10% of everything you earn. Earned $50 in tips, $5 to savings. Earned $100 dog sitting, $10 to savings. Salary of $3,000, $300 to savings. Always 10%. Morgan is clear. Anything is exponentially better than nothing. When I was younger and much poorer, I was a big saver. Even though I had to work to pay my rent and groceries, I viewed it as every $20 that I saved, every $50 that I saved, put me in a better position than I was before. Rule number 2, automate everything. Morgan is direct. Whenever you can automate something in finance, do it. Automate your bank account so every paycheck you're going to move $50 to savings, whatever it might be, and making it automatic. Why? The more that you can take behavior out of the system, because we're all flawed, we're all emotional, we're all biased. The more that you can take emotion out and put automation in, the better you're going to do over time. Set up your bank account. Every paycheck, $50 automatic, or 10% of salary, goes directly to savings. You don't even see this money. It simply disappears. Rule number 3, check your account every single day. This advice seems small, but Morgan says it's fundamental. Check your bank account balance every single day. Takes 10 seconds. Morgan explains, the primary thing that makes people broke, the most important thing is ignorance. It's not lack of intelligence, it's ignorance. Most people who have financial problems don't have them from lack of intelligence. They have them from ignorance. Most people who are making financial mistakes and have a problem with money, they actually have no idea how much money they're making or spending. Morgan has known his bank balance to the penny every day since he was 16, 17 years old. Awareness is the first step. Rule number 4, treat savings as an expense. Most people think, I'll pay all the bills, and if there's anything left, I'll save. There's never anything left. Morgan treats savings like he treats rent or food. I view savings as an expense just as I would view rent, food, and whatnot. Once you view savings as a nice-to-have, it's almost unavoidable that you're going to avoid doing it. Rent, check. Food, check. Savings, check. It's not optional. The biggest mistakes to avoid in 2026. Mistake number 1. Comparison. Morgan explains, so much of what we think is normal, our definition of success, is what other people around us have. If you are watching your neighbor live a better life than you, then all of a sudden your definition of a good life is what they're doing. Comparison destroys you. Mistake number 2. FOMO, fear of missing out. If you watch someone getting rich fast, there's a very good chance that it's not sustainable. Your friend who made 10,000% in Bitcoin, you're not going to be able to repeat that. So if you chase that after the fact, you're in trouble. The best strategy? Ignore it. Invest consistently in index funds. Don't try to follow the hype. Mistake number 3. Thinking you know what's coming next. Morgan asks, what will be the biggest risk in the next 10 years? The answer? Something nobody's talking about now. He explains. Historically, the biggest risk by far has always been the thing that nobody's talking about. It's always something like COVID, which nobody saw coming, September 11th, which nobody saw coming, the Great Depression, Pearl Harbor, all these things that were not on people's radar that did the most damage. So stop trying to predict. Invest consistently. Keep a reserve. Be patient. The myth of passive income. This will contradict many people, but Morgan is categorical. There are only 2 ways to get wealthier. You can sacrifice more or you want less, and that's it. Passive income is not part of that equation. Number 1, sacrifice more, work more, earn more. Number 2, want less, reduce your expectations, spend less. But what about rental properties? Morgan laughs at this. If you think owning a rental property is passive income, you've never owned a rental property because there's nothing passive about it. It is a constant chain of broken toilets and leaky roofs and tenants who don't pay you on time. There's nothing passive. That's a full-time job. People want the easy answer. Just like for health, the answer is eat a better diet and exercise. Nobody wants that. They say, what's the secret potion? But the truth is, sacrifice more or want less. Those are your 2 options. Stop looking for shortcuts. Getting rich vs. staying rich. Morgan says, getting rich and staying rich are 2 completely different skills. Getting rich requires being an optimist and taking massive risks. Staying rich requires being pessimistic and paranoid. The problem? The personality that gets you to the top is not the same one that keeps you there. Example number 1. Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the symbol of getting rich through extreme risk. When he sold his first companies, he took practically all his money, hundreds of millions of dollars, and bet everything on Tesla and SpaceX. It was all or nothing. Morgan even says, I think Elon Musk, there's one of 2 outcomes. He's either going to become a trillionaire or go bankrupt. And honestly, I think it's 50-50. That's the getting rich personality. Maximum risk, maximum reward, or complete destruction. Example number 2. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is the perfect example of staying rich. Although he took a giant risk founding Microsoft, he ran the company ultra-conservatively. Morgan explains, when he started Microsoft, he's taking the biggest entrepreneurial swing anyone's ever taken, and at the same time, he ran Microsoft so that they always had enough cash in the bank to make payroll for 1 year with no revenue, which is the most conservative way that you can run a business. 1 full year of payroll, even with 0 income. Most entrepreneurs, if they have the balls to take that swing, are also going to manage the business, so it's just hanging on by a loose thread. And when you run like that, you're eventually going to go bankrupt. That's why Bill Gates has been rich for over 50 years. The Forbes billionaire list proves this. There's like 70% turnover every decade, not from people dying, but from people being at the top and then falling out. Why? Because they only knew how to get rich. They didn't know how to stay rich. Morgan's lesson. You need to be an optimist to risk, like Musk, but paranoid to survive, like Gates. Having both personalities at the same time is the secret. If you only know how to risk, you'll eventually go bankrupt. If you're only afraid, you'll never grow. The balance is everything. The reverse obituary exercise. Morgan shares a powerful framework. It's kind of morbid, but write down what you want your obituary to say. It's a very good, helpful exercise. He explains, for me, I would want it to say Morgan was a good father, a good husband, a good friend, helped his community, was a good worker. Never in a million years would I want it to say what my income was, how big my house was, how many times I went on vacation, how many horsepower my car had. You instantly drift towards the things that you know you actually want in life. In any given day, you're like, I got to earn a higher income, I want a bigger house, I need a new car. But at the end of your life, you know that's not going to matter. What's going to matter is, were you a good spouse, a good parent, a good worker? Were you honest? Were you a good friend? Morgan mentions a story. I heard about a guy whose last words on his deathbed were, "So much wasted time." And I remember thinking that's as bad as it comes, to be on your deathbed and look back filled with regrets. Jeff Bezos has the regret minimization framework. He envisioned himself being 90 years old on his deathbed. He said the goal for life was to be on your deathbed and have as few regrets as possible. He said if he started Amazon and it failed, he would not have regretted that. But if he never tried, he would regret it forever. We're almost done. You've spent 20 minutes learning what takes most people a lifetime to figure out. If this changed how you think about money, subscribe and hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Now, let's finish this. Your 2026 Financial Roadmap. Final summary number 1. Automate 10% of your salary to savings immediately. Set it up once and forget it. Number 2. Open account at Vanguard or similar brokerage. Buy index funds like VTSX. Nothing fancy, just boring index funds. Number 3. Check your bank balance every single day. 10 seconds. This creates awareness. Number 4. Goal. Save 6 months of expenses. This is your freedom fund. Number 5. Never sell your investments. Keep them for decades. That's where compound interest works its magic. Number 6. Invest every month consistently, no matter what happens. Market crash? Invest. Market boom? Invest. Number 7. Forget passive income. Work more or spend less. There's no magic. Morgan's closing words. All wealth, your feeling of wealth, is what you have minus what you want. He shares the story of his grandmother-in-law. For 30 years, she lived off of $1,700 or $1,800 a month in Social Security. Not a lot of money, but she didn't want anything more. She found all of her happiness working in her garden, going for walks, watching the birds, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset. If you asked her, "You're broke, doesn't that make you unhappy?" she'd be like, "Do you think having more money makes the sunset more beautiful? Do you think having more money makes going for a walk more pleasant?" Morgan Housel's strategy in 3 words: simple, boring, consistent, and it sold 10 million copies because it works. The formula is simple. Save like a pessimist. Invest like an optimist. Live like someone who knows money is a tool, not a scoreboard. If you want to dive deeper into Morgan Housel's philosophy, I highly recommend reading his books. The Psychology of Money. Timeless lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness, same as ever. A guide to what never changes in a changing world. These books will transform how you think about money and life. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute personalized investment advice. Consult with a financial advisor for personalized guidance.